Man, these 3-month periods just seem to fly by. I feel like I was just talking about now 59. The weather was warm and now it's cold and it's bullshit. And it's high time for us to get a reminder as to where pop music is. Yeah, we got 20 more tracks, thanks to the Now Corporation or whatever they are, to tell us the biggest hits of the past couple of months. And it's our job to identify the 10 largest atrocities. And we've been doing this for about 10 to 12 episodes, and music has certainly changed a little bit. Definitely revitalizing that whole club and discotheque thing. Where's the Bee Gees when you need them? Seriously. Here's the top 10 worst songs off of Now 60, and we of course begin with number 10. Number 10 is Lukas Graham with his song Mama Said, which is actually a track that's not too terrible. It actually has a really good message behind it. You see, Lukas Graham, his parents, they were from very meager money. They didn't have very much. They got one pair of shoes every year, and Mama and Dad had told them, it's okay if you go out there and get them all dirty, even though it's the only pair that you're going to have for the year, basically encouraging them to have fun, be individuals, and hey, don't listen to those people who are, telling you can't achieve your dream of being a singer in Hollywood, because now they're the people who are in front of you. Really, really nice message. I actually kind of dig that, but the song itself is largely forgettable. It's a song where, after you're done listening to it, you kind of get that nice little good feeling, and then you decide to, go make yourself some food, or take a shit, maybe water some plants or something. I don't know, cross-stitch fuck you, and send it to your worst enemy. You're not going to remember this song. It doesn't stick in your head, and that lacking of a real sort of earworm effect is what damages this song the most, and actually removes a potentially great message for a lot of people that are out there. Not really an atrocity, more of a tragedy. Let's move on to number 9. Number 9 is Kungs and Cooking on 3 Burners. What the fuck are people naming their groups these days? Let's just talk about this girl. This is an electronic chill track that actually kind of gets ruined because it gets turned into wankery doodly doo because of this chorus and because of what happens afterward between the verses. It's one that doesn't seem all that bad. It seems innocent enough, and then all of a sudden it just turns into a massive train wreck, and you wonder what exactly happened. It strips the mood, it stabs it until it stops breathing, and really whenever you do that within your own song, maybe one of the big problems is who you're working with. Either that or both of you just suck. I'm going to bet on the latter whenever it comes to this. Number 8 is Britney Spears and G-Eazy with Make Me. And Britney Spears has adopted this brand new club persona, and I guess Make Me is sort of following up within that a little bit. G-Eazy is, of course, a rapper that has to make the obligatory appearance on a pop star's video and song to showcase that pop and rap are now the best of friends. Ho ho ho! Thanks a lot! And this is just... Britney's stuff a couple of years ago, whenever she first experienced her comeback, was a little bit fun and kind of took us all by surprise, but now it's kind of like her pop material, where by album number 3, you knew exactly what was coming. It doesn't feel as fun, it doesn't feel as lively, it doesn't have the same punch value to it, and Make Me is a track that just feels like a myriad of other Spears cuts, and that's not necessarily a good thing. It doesn't stand out, it's not identifiable, and it's a song that if I heard it on the radio, I would be tempted just to pass it up because it sucks. Number 7, we have Hailee, Steinfeld, Gray, and Zedd, and the song is called Starving. Now, I'm going to be honest with all of you right now. This is a song that starts off really, really strong. It has this sort of acoustic, build that's really drawing to it. And this is one of 2 types of songs that I feel exist out there these days. Like the pop music that we knew from 7 years ago, it's gone. And anybody trying to revitalize that is being seen as an old person, an old man, an old woman. The first type is, of course, the straight-up club hit. The second one is one that devolves into a club hit after starting off with some acoustic Maroon 5 shit, or John Mayer, or whoever. I really like John Mayer, so it kind of pisses me off whenever something pisses all over that vinegar and makes some sort of gigantic, nasty smelling thing. But that's exactly what this song does. It starts off really strong with that acoustic element, but then it is absolutely ruined whenever the dubstep drops, or whenever the club mix drops, whatever the hell you want to call it. It ruins this track completely. It really is a song that could have existed well enough on its own, with the acoustic guitar and with the gradual build that it was really going for within its first minutes. It's not something where you need to tamper with that formula. You do not need to apply to, a new traditional pop audience. It's, by going with what the current trend is, you can actually do something well enough on your own if you have a little bit of faith. Maybe you should listen to Lukas Graham. Number 6 is Daya with Sit Still and Look Pretty. Hey look, it's a Lord clone! Oh man. You remember whenever Team came out? Do you remember whenever, those tracks from Lord came out? I can't even remember anymore because that seems like 1,001 years ago. Did you ever think to yourself, man, all we need is about 7 other artists to do something like that? Well, we're well on our way with Daya, who basically reminds me of Lord, and it's something where the silver medal, the second person to do it, never really has the same flair or the same sort of je ne sais quoi as the first one. It doesn't have that same effect, that same punch, that same real feeling to it. Sit Still, Look Pretty really sounds like it's an ode or an anthem to, maybe females, that's all they're expected to do, or for models or whatever. It doesn't really matter. The messages of these tracks, they say that it has a message behind it and it's meaningful and all this crap, but it's all just goddamn propaganda. Shut the fuck up. It doesn't mean jack and shit. This is a track that honestly just feels like it meanders, goes nowhere, and makes me want to listen to Lord. I'm gonna fire up, Team and just enjoy myself a little bit better, or Tennis Court. Number 5, we have Tory Lanez with Love. And right at the get-go, this is a song that at the beginning of its music video says that it's powered by the mob. What mob? The mob of male soul singers of this generation that all talk about the same things with the same tone of voice, and you really can't tell a lot of them apart unless they do something that's a little bit special or decide to get a little bit weird. Hi, Miguel. You're pretty weird. You remind some people of Prince. Me too. That's what makes you worth talking about in a positive light, and a guy like Tory Lanez not, considering this song feels completely useless. It's just lost within the sea of the same old bullshit that we get from this generalized style of pop music. Does it have a nice little cadence to it? Does he have a good voice? Yes, all of those things are there. Shut the fuck up. Everything's okay. It's not like the world is breaking. No one pushed the Armageddon button yet, but we're getting close. We're getting into the top 5, or we're in the top 5. This is just one that doesn't stand out. It doesn't stand out. A lot of these songs you're noticing don't stand out, and that's a really, really big problem. If you have pop songs that don't stand out, that are actually doing well as singles, it's actually a bad age for pop. Not a good one. Number 4, we have Calvin Harris and Rhianna with This Is What You Came For. This is a Dance Track 101 track, is how I'm going to identify it. Calvin Harris essentially just does the bare bones essentials for constructing a track that's going to be played in a club, or played somewhere where there's going to be a little bit of dancing, a little bit of jigging, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, doing whatever. I look like the whitest person ever, but yet if somebody else did that, it'd be so cute. But since I'm me, it isn't. Well, fuck you. That ain't dancing. That's basically just saying, fuck, no, not him, no, you. It's all about getting the dick wet or the pussy wet. All about getting a little bit of freaky on. That's all this is. That's all it really is. And then Rhianna with this, just stop. Just stop. Oh, man. I could make jokes about Rhianna. I really could, but I'm not going to do that because it's kind of old. It's really old. Whatever. I've done them on streams. You know who you are if you've seen them. This is just a track that feels like Calvin Harris decided to make, do a workshop for people who want to become dance artists. Like, we need more of those. Thanks. And Rhianna is just there to repeat the same, lyrics generally for 3 verses, and then that you thing for the... Oh, Jesus Christ. Number 3, we have Katy Perry with Rise. This is a cinematic tone song, which is A-okay. But there's a track about how a line about how Katy Perry is never going to conform. Katy, you conformed from day one. You started off as more of a gospel artist, one that was talking about Jesus, and then you went to pop, because pop makes more money. Pop gets you into, the spotlight, and pop is what basically drives the world whenever it comes to music, or so it seems. So you conformed long time ago, baby, and you're still conforming, as this cinematic track reminds me of something that you want to throw in, like, the end of a big old movie, like The Hunger Games, or Allegiant, or The Maze... No, not The Maze Runner, this wouldn't work at all, but you know what I'm talking about. One of those big old movies that has to have some sort of big old crescendo, how you're going to rise up, how you're going to be this, how you're going to be that, empowerment this, This is the year where everybody feels like they need to have a song to empower. If you need to be empowered by somebody else, if you cannot get those feelings within yourself just by looking in a mirror and saying, you know what, I'm alright, then listen, the problem is not going to be solved by Katy Perry, and this is not the last time we're going to be speaking about this idea. The song blows, even though the cinematics are a nice touch. Let's move on to number 2, which is hell itself. This is what happens whenever somebody conjures the Book of the Dead and then reads from it. We have Pitbull, Rida, and some other jackoff with their song Green Light. Now, what's wrong with this picture? We have Pitbull and Rida. Usually, they accompany 2 spots on this list, but they only only 1 spot this time because they're together. All of a sudden, worlds have collided. This is the real Armageddon moment. I think the button has been pushed, and it's probably because of this. And this would have been better off left as an instrumental dance track. It has a really, really good register to it. It's got a really good beat to it. The overall flow is really nice. I could get behind this if I decided to ever go to a club and get my white boy on. Maybe somebody would eyeball me and be like, give me a couple drinks and then maybe I'll give him a ride. But this is a track that should not have had vocals. It should not have had lyrics because it's Pitbull and Rida basically just singing about the same things they've sung about for years. That's all it is. There's nothing that really identifies this as an individual track aside from the beat itself, so just take the lyrics out and just listen to Green Light instrumental, and I think you're going to be hokey pokey, hey, okay, considering the rest of it sucks, the rest of it blows. Pitbull still, the way, he has a deal, and I have a great story, whatever, who gives a crap, that's like 10 years ago. And then Rida, your name is Florida, shut the hell up, you guys just got hit with a hurricane, barely any damage. It makes me kind of wish that Matthew would have fucked you guys up a little bit harder, especially in Miami. Woo! Ah, this is terrible, bye-bye. Number 1 is Meghan Trainor with Me Too. Some of you said this was going to be number 1. Well, guess what? Congratulations, you win a prize. It's like you hit the fucking jackpot on a slot machine. Enjoy your winnings. This is a braggy song from the person that then wanted to really talk about empowerment and how this and that and these and those. What? Meghan Trainor complete 180. You don't exactly do something like that. If I were you, I would want to be Me Too. No. No, if you were me, you would not want to be you, because if you were me, you would know what I think about you, and you would hear all those thoughts and those things, and you would think to yourself, you know what, he's right. I'm a fucking pretentious twit. I'm not social justice bullshit or anything like this. None of my songs have any goddamn meaning. I didn't write half of this crap. I'm just being used as a tool for the age to try to get people to feel differently about things and maybe spark a little bit of outrage and make people like that CKN guy really, really upset. Am I upset about that? No, I'm upset about the fact that your music sucks. It's horrible. If you really want to paint a great message, at least make the music good. You know, do you think Bruce Springsteen was able to move mountains by having shitty music? No, he did that by having some pretty good rockin' tunes. It's just that pop music is everywhere. Everyone does pop music, and everyone's trying to make some sort of goddamn difference. It all gets lost in the translation. So whenever you have a braggy track, guess what else happens? It gets lost in the translation not only of other empowering songs, but it gets lost in the translation of you looking like a braggadocious nitwit, basically on par with rap stars and other pop stars that are just shaking it and feeling good and, you know, singing into hairbrushes and crap, you know, trying to really connect with the audience. Doesn't really do it. It really doesn't do it. It comes off as pretentious, it comes off as arrogant, it comes off as, I basically used what you guys are socially aware or socially want to get what I want. And now, motherfuck you, I am the queen. No, you're not. You're a dunce. And I hope the hell you get hit by a bus. Although it's going to be a really big bus that's going to need to hit you to deflate both you and your ego. So, hopefully it's a double-decker. Hopefully it happens in England. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 10 songs off of Now 60 that makes Now 60 make me want to kill myself. Hopefully Now 66 will be worse, that way I can make 666 jokes and look like a 13-year-old. That would just be hunky-dory great now, wouldn't it? Oh, wow. If you thought there was a song on this album that should have been on this list, but was not, let me know in the comments below. If not, then my name is coverkillernation. I'll talk to you guys next time, whenever we talk about another slew of Now garbage. 3 months from now, thank God. Take care. Hey guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the other elements of the top 10 worst Now songs series, check out the link to your left. The link to your right will also take you to some of the album reviews from 2016. You can subscribe and also scope out my Patreon. Thanks again for viewing, and have a great night. Take care.